All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are here on Friday night with an amazing special edition of the Martial Arts Experience. Obviously, we had a new intro today. We're going high tech and we're adding a lot of cool things for you. So tonight is all about the amazing show, 52 Masters. We're going to be talking about behind the scenes. We're going to get a chance to pick the brain of the show host, creator, founder, William Christopher Ford. It's going to be an awesome night. We're really excited to bring this to all of our viewers as the Martial Arts Experience show has just taken off. Really, without the watchers and the followers and the viewers and the support, we really appreciate it. So just to bring everybody up to speed, the 52 Masters show was created by Master William Christopher Ford. Some of you may have also recognized him from the Karate Kid 3. He played the role of Dennis, and he created this awesome show called 52 Masters. It's on his Kaizen Dojo YouTube channel, and it's also on Amazon. And it's just an amazing show that showcases martial arts masters and trainings, and it has a really cool concept that people watch and that pushes the show story. So what we're going to do is we're going to give you a little bit of taste of the show. In case you haven't seen it, we're going to do the prelude to it, the little intro, and then we're going to bring our special guest right into the show tonight. So
I am 51 years old. I've been a practitioner of Okinawan Shorin-ryu karate since I was 7. There were some who would call me a master. I assure you, I am not. I believe that the true expert is someone who still has a student's heart and a beginner's mind. This year, to celebrate turning 52, I'm setting out to learn from 52 other disciplines, each from its own master. Some things I've tried before, others I'm a first-day beginner, like anyone else. 52 weeks, 52 new skills. I'm William Christopher Ford, and this is 52 Masters.
man, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you're excited to train, but once I see that, I'm ready to go. I don't know if you guys, I'm ready to go. I don't want to waste any time. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the man himself, William Christopher Ford, is in the house from California. How you doing, sir?
Hey, how you doing, sir?
I'm better now that you're with us on the show, sir.
Well, you know what? What an honor and a pleasure to be here once again. And I was lucky enough to be on your show earlier a few months ago. And thank you so much for having me back.
Sir, it's an absolute pleasure. I do want to say to all of you, we're obviously using a little bit different platform. So we have some cool little, bells and whistles that we did today. But again, thank you so much. So I want to dive right in. And before we start, we already got 2 comments coming in. So we're going to do a quick hello. William, if you could say hello to Mr. Carl Kaluyo Kalani. He's a good friend of mine, best friend. He's a great man. And if you could just say hello to Carl, he's calling out of New Jersey.
Hello, Mr. Carl. Thanks for watching, sir.
We're also going to drop a hello to Master John Filer. He's based out of Pennsylvania. He's a great man. If you could say hello to John.
Master Filer, very nice to see you, sir.
And we got the legend himself. He was just on our show, Mr. Robert Samuels. If you could say hello to Robert.
Mr. Samuels, hope everything is well, sir.
So listen, 52 Masters. Sir, how'd you come up with the concept? Talk to us.
Well, I'm always interested in kind of catchy titles that usually involve numbers. For some reason, it's just kind of a cool thing. So back in 2014, I wanted to do an event to raise money for St. Jude Children's Hospital. And we ended up doing something called 40 rounds for 40 years, which was, hey, let's do 40 sparring rounds, 1 minute each, and to celebrate 40 years of being in the martial arts. I was actually inspired by a friend of mine, Master Fariboz Jacques, whom he did a thing where I read about this in Benny Urquidez's biography where Master Ajag did this thing where he wanted to celebrate his 50th birthday, so he decided to spar 50 rounds to celebrate that.
I heard that, yeah.
And that was my inspiration. So I thought, well, that would be pretty cool if we could do it for charity. And St. Jude is, my favorite. I love what they do.
Absolutely.
So that kind of became the first of the events that involved a number of some sort. And it doesn't always work out that way, but it's just kind of like, well, 40 rounds for 40 years. The following year, I did something called 49 kata. It was like 49 for 49. So we got all the local martial artists around, people who were friends of mine. And it was like a big demonstration where everybody did a kata, including Master Daryl Vidal. He came down and he revived his old kata from when he used to compete back in the day,
Wow.
So that was, again, a St. Jude thing. And that was to celebrate 49. I think I was turning 49 then. So, you're
not 49, sir. There's no way you're 49. Are you serious?
No, there's no way I'm 49 because now I'm 54. So we did this this year. I was trying to think of something I mean, like when I came up with the concept for 52 Masters, I was 51 years old at the time. I was 51 when we shot that promo. And I thought, well, this is perfect. There's 52 cards in a deck, 52 weeks in a year. Let's do a show called 52 Experts. And it'll be me training with 52 different, martial artists, and we'll train, and then we'll have coffee afterwards, And I thought about it. It's like, a better title is actually 52 Masters. 52 Masters is just a way better title, rather than 52 really good people. So the goal was to train. Yeah, there are some people on there who are unquestionably what you would define as a master. Benny Urquidez, Tak Kubota, people like that, Michelle Manu, Amin Santo, others. Other people who are on my show, you may never heard of, and they're very humble. They're like, oh, I've asked them, and they said, oh, you've had some excellent people on your show, and I'm no master. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. You've dedicated years of your life to the martial arts and to teaching, and you're a good person. And I know you. I like you. I want you on the show. Just go with it. It's 52 Masters.
Right.
So the appeal of the show is I go and I train. I jump in there, whatever it is going to be. And then we sit down and we talk. And initially, for the first few episodes, I always had a coffee cup in my hand. And then for some reason, we just sort of dropped the coffee. I still wanted during the episode, but it became less about the coffee cup in my hand and just having a sit-down talk where we're just being two real people having a conversation, and it just happens to have cameras. And it's not so much about, so tell me when you got started in the martial arts, as we pass the microphone back and forth. It's more about, hey, man, I read this about you, or I heard this about you, tell me about that. And it becomes an authentic conversation. And, I've been able to, one of my superpowers, I've been told, or something I've been able to develop, is the ability to get people to relax, to build rapport with them. So early on, people feel like they know me, that they're comfortable with me. And I believe you have that same talent, because the first time I talked to you, I was like, I feel like I've known this guy like for years. Like we grew up with each other, and it's like, it's another me. It's the East Coast version of me,
very humble,
much better looking version of me. So that's kind of how it came about. Now, people will say, hey, how's the 52 Masters going? And it's like, we're about halfway there.
Right.
This came up, logistically. Originally, I was going to bang one out every week. And for the first few weeks, we were able to do that. But this is a production that is not, Netflix doesn't produce this, doesn't sponsor it. It's coming out of like whatever expenses we have. And then, my crew is some really great guys who happen to do top-notch work, and sometimes they're not available. and sometimes the talent's not available, so we couldn't get it
Just
together.
knock it out. Right.
Right.
Now,
And
William, I want to ask you.
2020 happened, and that just like,
Yeah.
you know, threw a wrench in the whole
COVID
thing.
ruined it for everybody. COVID took it over for everybody. So
We had to adapt a little bit, but you know what? We're back, and we're gonna finish no matter what. Because somebody said, "Well, you know, even if you stop now," and I'm like, I know, even if I stop now, but I'm not gonna stop. I got to finish it. You know.
right.
And they're saying, "Are you going to change the title to 60 Masters?" I'm like, "No, it's got to be 52 Masters." But you know, I just hope it doesn't take me 52 years to do it. You know, here's I'm going to have this gray beard, and I'm like, "Oh, my stories are finally finished."
Now, William, let's jump in. You know, and I want to touch base on some of the guests, some of these masters, legends, and people that you have. So, two quick questions. One person, who was the first master that you had on the show? Who was the first one? And then I have a second question for you.
Okay. The very first master was Capoeira master Amin Santo, who you may remember from the movie Only the Strong, which he did with his student, Mark Dacascos.
Yes, sir.
I even mentioned, I got a chance to meet Mark Dacascos in that episode. I was so excited, you know, so it's like, I hear Mark Dacascos is going to be in class today. So I was very excited, and sure enough, he was. And Mestre Santo was so nice to me, very, very, pleasant, was happy that I was going to jump into the class, very accommodating. And Guru Alvin Katakutan had set that up because he used to teach his program out of their school, their Capoeira Academy.
Oh, wow.
Fair enough. Mark Dacascos was there. And another one of my favorite martial artists is a gentleman named Latif Dos Santos Crowder. And he's another amazing martial artist who is now on The Mandalorian, doubling The Mandalorian. So a lot of
that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I got a chance to be in a picture with both of these heroes of mine, and just the nicest guys and the most phenomenally talented, as is Mestre Santo. And that episode was just like, wow, I'm so glad I had been doing some working out, because capoeira is no
joke.
Task.
No joke.
Yeah.
One of my best friends has a capoeira studio in New Jersey, down in Galloway Township, Sensei Brian Moraney, and he's capoeira is no joke. But I want to go back to one of the names that you mentioned.
Okay.
And you said he helped. He was instrumental, which was is it Master Alvin or is Sensei, or what's his title?
He goes by Guru, which is
Filipino
not guru, but it's Guru.
Gotcha.
It's a word that just means teacher. It sounds like guru, but it doesn't have that connotation. That kind of weird culty connotation, which it sometimes has. It's just Guru. And usually masters of Filipino martial arts, they're teachers. And Alvin is a good friend of mine. He
so you don't have anything bad to say about him, right?
He might have something bad to say about me, but we'll see about that. But
I got to stop you right now, because William, I got to tell you right now, we got some serious technology, and we might have a special guest that's going to be coming in. And let's see. Oh,
hey,
he is there.
Hey,
how are you?
Hey,
how you doing?
I'm all right. Let's talk.
Are you you're in your school right now?
No, I'm actually in my loft studio at home, where I teach almost all of my classes since the pandemic last year.
Got it.
Yeah, so we retrofitted this space, and it's actually above the main floor, so my poor neighbors don't have to hear me stomping everywhere.
Got it.
But it's a living.
Well, Alvin, thank you so much for joining us tonight, Alvin. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Guru Katakutan is a very dear friend of mine. He's family, and he was in episode 2 of 52 Masters. Probably still my most popular episode, because it had 3 words in it: Filipino knife fighting, and it just blew up, and it's pretty cool. So I want to put those 3 words in every video I have, even if it has nothing to do with
it. Hashtag Filipino, hashtag knife, hashtag fighting, or hashtag Filipino knife fighting on everything, on cooking shows, on.
That's right. That's right.
Wow.
Washing
now,
dog.
Alvin, let me ask you, how did you feel, with your experience with 52 Masters? Obviously, you have a relationship with William, but were you like, wow, what is this? Or because obviously you were the second episode, so you still at that time didn't know what you were going to do, right? Or get involved with.
Oh man, when I saw the title, I thought it was because of my height. It's like 5'2" master, and it's like I'm 5'2", but I'll do my best,
Well, how tall is Janelle Barlongo? She's about 5'2".
She's about my height.
Yeah,
she might maybe taller.
Well, she made it into episode 5, I think. So but she's like dynamite, she's tiny and she's small, but she's like, pow, she's explosive,
She packs a punch, that woman. She's amazing.
She sure.
So Alvin, tell us about your experience then filming the show, and afterwards, what was it like? Because you're now, enshrined as one of the 52 Masters.
Yeah, well, honestly, it's quite an honor. And I'm as surprised as Sensei Ford about the popularity of that episode, because I did number 2, but it got a lot of hits, and I've personally benefited from it as well. So we get a lot of attention for our school now because of it, and thank you, Sensei Ford. It's amazing. But at that time, we're actually doing most of our classes at Sensei Ford's dojo. I tell all our students, Sensei Ford is Pamana Kali's, that's my school, Pamana Kali's godfather, because he got us started on Sundays. He's the godfather. One day I'm going to come in and ask you to do a video.
Kiss my ring.
Right? And he's asked many favors since. I've had ears on to be a tactical elf, and I get to fight ninja mask, monkey mask ninjas on a project he's working on, and it's just a lot of fun. It's a great honor just to have those opportunities. Awesome. And I watched you sweat it out with Mr. Amain at the Brazil Cultural Center here in Culver City. And yeah, I did not envy you that day. You were working.
This is my first episode, and I'm starting to already have like second thoughts. I'm going, maybe we'll just call it one master instead of 52 masters. It'd just be Mestre Alman Santo, and that's it.
Yeah. Oh boy. No, that was a fun day actually to have Kuya Mark de Coscas, as I call him. Because he's Filipino American, half Filipino, and known as Zero in the John Wick movie. Is it number 2? John Wick 2? 3. Number 3 already. Oh my gosh. And they're working on number 4. I think they're wrapping number 4. But that's a fun series full of awesome Filipino martial arts, and from that lineage. Working with Sensei Ford though is always a blast, honestly, because he just comes in and wants to get to know you, and because we know each other well, it's easy just to sit and talk. We have very similar backgrounds in film and television and theater. We both love Shakespeare. We both want to play Othello. And as someone who's that experienced, it's like Sensei Ford's been around for a long time in martial arts and in karate. He's also so open-minded and willing to learn new things, and that's what makes the show so interesting. Because every episode is actually kind of different. You watch each episode, you get to meet people that you wish you could meet in person, and he's getting that opportunity. And then you get some inroads and some insights on what makes their art so special to them, and what a little bit of their history. I'll tell you, one of my favorites is Gerald Okamura from Big Trouble in Little China.
The man, Gerald.
The master, the man of many weapons.
Yes.
He's a lot of fun, always.
I wonder if he's watching right now.
I hope so.
if he's watching, he's got to chime in. Yeah, yeah.
He has a shirt
What a
or some
character.
hot sauce, some legendary Okamura hot sauce. My wife keeps asking, when are you going to see Uncle Gerald again? I need some more hot sauce.
Wow.
I could use some of that hot sauce too.
We have to do a show on the hot sauce. Alvin, what's the biggest thing you could take away from your experience with 52 Masters?
Oh, the biggest thing, honestly, it's just the title itself is a challenge, right? You go, oh, it's such an honor to be in a show with that title. But everyone that's been on the show has had a similar, I think, essence in that they are just lifelong students of the arts they practice. As many students they have themselves and people that they've turned into black belts or that level or instructors in their arts. These are people who just love and have a deep passion for what they do. And when you see that and you watch people move and speak about the arts they love so much and made a life of, you can't help but be inspired to do that yourself. And I think that's the greatest gift of the show, is that it shows people who have never been in martial arts or are thinking about it, or people who are at the beginning, they can see their future if they keep it up.
Right. Wow. No, I think that's a great point. The first time that I saw the show and I got to watch it, being a career martial artist, I was inspired. And that's what I think is so powerful about the concept and the show. And, when he has the masters and guests like yourself, it gives it such a unique flavor. But you're absolutely right. It inspires, it brings to light things that people don't know. But then again, if you are a martial artist, you're like, oh, wow, and you just get excited about it. And that's a positive thing, I think, for martial arts in general around the world, especially during this time, too. I think it's, it's a very positive message that every show that he does. And I love the chats at the end. I think that's one of the coolest things that I like.
It's really just two human beings connecting, learning about each other and seeing the similarities in their paths and finding out what makes them unique. Really, that's why I really enjoy the show.
I got it. Sir, I'm looking at the musical instruments behind you, sir. I see that set of congas behind you.
Those ones, they're special to me. I don't ever play them.
Oh.
Because I'm terrible at the congas. But my good friend, Alex Acuna, who is a preeminent percussionist who's played with Elvis, Whitney Houston, Madonna, everyone. He's a session musician. Recommended these ones to me, and they're actually, his name is on them. It's the limited edition. And I said, well, of course I'm going to get them. They got your name on it.
Right.
And he actually offered to give me a lesson, just, showed me a few things. But I have his signature inside those. And I also have Guru Dan Inosanto, my teacher's signature inside those conga. And I bought them as a gift to me and my studio, but mostly to me. That's why they're here. It's with the intention of learning and being able to play the Filipino rhythms for a class the way my teacher does as well. Because percussion and music is a big component, a very important component of how we practice. Very similar to capoeira. But it is actually among the things that I really need to work on to get good enough to play for the students, because I'll mess them up if I play.
Awesome. That's a great story. Awesome. Well, Alvin, I want to thank you again for coming on tonight and joining us. I really appreciate it. And again, we appreciate your time, and thanks for sharing those different things with us. So we wish you the best, and we're going to have to talk afterwards, sir. I think you might have to, we're going to have to get you on the show after this. We'll have to talk.
I strongly agree with that, Master Torres. This man needs to be on your show, and you need to put Filipino knife fighting in the title.
I'm going to put it on my shirt. That's it. I got it. Alvin, before you leave real fast, if you and William, if we could give a quick shout out to Master Steve Gross from Chicago. So Alvin, if you can go first, and then William, just give a quick shout out to Master Steve Gross in Chicago, Illinois.
Is he watching right now? Master Steve Gross, thanks for watching. Thanks for joining us. Hit chat, say hello or something in the chat. Love to hear from you. Thank you for joining us. So really appreciate you.
Awesome.
Yeah, Master Steve Gross. I think we have actually met before when we've done a like a forum with Sean Kanan and Daryl Vidal, and I got a chance to chat with Master Gross and his son that day. So nice to see you again, sir. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, gentlemen. Alvin, again, thank you for joining us. We wish you the best, and we'll talk soon, sir. Thank you.
Salamat po. Salamat po, Guru. Thank you.
So, William, what's the next direction, though? So you said you're trying to finish the show, and you know, I love that we had Alvin come in because obviously he was the second show. So how do you feel after those first 2 episodes that the show started to transition and develop again? Like, what do you think was the biggest thing you learned from doing episodes 1 and 2?
You know, I really like the way that they turned out. Credit to my filmmaking partner, Jim Towns, who is quite amazing. And he was able to take, you know, my idea and visually make it very cool. The way he created the titles, the way he edited the episodes. And after those first couple of episodes, we have something here. You know, it's
right.
We got something here. So I approached Shinzo Machida, Lyoto Machida's brother. You know, Lyoto's fighting today. He's fighting Ryan Bader tonight. I wonder if he's already started that.
Oh wow! Yeah, nope. That's right. That's right.
But yeah, so I approached Sensei Shinzo. He did that interview after the training too, and he had a long day. I think it was they were doing a seminar that day, and it was a long day. His father was in town, and he was gracious enough to join me afterwards. And then, you know, as we continued to do, and back then we were trying to keep the episodes at 15 minutes or so, and what happened was they just started to get longer because that's what the episode deserved. So rather than try to confine it to a time constraint, we just decided to let the episode be whatever it is to be. And if it's something of great interest, you know, obviously if we're going to cut something, we'll cut something. But there was just so much gold that we didn't want to take that away. And that eventually evolved into doing a 2-part episode with Benny Urquidez because it was just too good. Like, no, we need to give this the full treatment. So going forward, maybe they'll be an hour long, 45 minutes. It just depends. You know, we look at the footage and, you know, we try to cut out the fat. Right. Oftentimes it's like, not a lot of fat there. It's pretty lean. You know, that's some choice. That's some choice stuff right there. You know, that's cut.
Now, William, you know, being part of the Karate Kid franchise has allowed you to connect with some great people. Okay, so do you have a favorite Karate Kid actor that you've been able to work with, or that maybe you know outside of your specific movie that you did?
Oh, you mean that is actually involved with the Karate Kid franchise in some way?
Yeah, in some way.
Recently, I got to know a gentleman named Austin Rains who works on Cobra Kai. He's one of the martial arts students. He donated he took part in a fundraiser we did for St. Jude with Ron Thomas and Daryl and Sean and Tony Odell and other people as well. Rick Perez. And it was, you know, Austin, I asked him, real martial artist, you know, practices Japanese swordsmanship. And I'd never met him before, but he was just, you know, a true gentleman, great guy. Found him to be just very delightful. He sent me Christmas ornament that they had given out at the 2018 Christmas cast and crew party. And I just auctioned it off, you know, and we, you know, and that went to Victor Sarmiento, who's a good friend of mine. And it was just a little extra for the cause. He's one that I really like. Ralph Macchio himself was, you know, I've told the story about how when I was working on Karate Kid 3, we have this scene in the bonsai shop where we're going to fight, you know, like, you know, we're being bullies and we go in there. I chop up the shoji screens and Daniel-san says to my character, Dennis, hey, why don't you guys just take off? And when we originally shot that scene, as we were rehearsing it, Ralph, Mr. Macchio says to the director, John Avildsen, John, can you please give him a line here because I need something to play off. So Mr. Avildsen says, okay, Dennis, you say, no, you take off or something like that. Right. And that's cool, So, I mean, at that point, I was in the movie. I was, going to be one of the main characters. I didn't have any lines though. And
right. Well, that's just because you were such a great henchman. You didn't need to talk. They just wanted you to beat people up.
Well, I like to think that I'm the strong and silent type, and I'm just really good at henching. I think that they were just like, this guy doesn't have any acting experience. Let's just let him keep his mouth shut. They want to take a chance.
Right. Now, William, you talked about obviously you're talking about your experience with Karate Kid 3, but what about your opportunities on 52 Masters with another Karate Kid actor that was part of the first franchise? And it's funny, I never knew the story of the crane kick and the true originator. But tell us how you feel about Darryl Vidal. How do you feel about him, sir? I know he's got a rough side to him. Yeah, I know he's tough to take sometimes. But now I did have him on my show already. But I mean, how do you feel about him?
His wife April is really cool. But I don't know about Darryl. He's
maybe I should stop you now. I don't want you to think. You already mentioned his wife. I don't know. I mean, if there's bad blood.
He thinks he's all that because he was like Pat Morita's stunt double because he did that crane kick on the thing, and he can do amazing kicks, and he's good looking and all that. So I don't know, man.
Oh man, but listen, you know what I would do? As I told you, we have all these surprises. You know what? I think maybe we should just talk to Darryl face to face and let's see. There's the man. There's the man.
That was a setup if I could ever see one.
Let me put my 99-cent glasses on. GM Vidal, nice to see you, sir.
William, my dear friend William.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we've just added to the show. Obviously, we had the first Guru Alvin. He was the first one, but to have a special guest, legend, the man himself, Grandmaster, the good-looking Grandmaster, as William refers to him as.
Yeah, right.
Darryl Vidal, sir, thanks for joining us tonight. I appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time.
Honored that you would want me here, and great to be here with William. As you said, we have a great friendship through the Karate Kid. But I don't know if you guys know this, but we were friends before the Karate Kid. We used to compete together way back in the day. So love to have to see William up doing stuff with you, and he's always doing great inspirational projects, and I just do my best to keep up with them and tag along and help him out. Really, he's got so many things going on.
Now, Darryl, you yourself were one of the 52 Masters. So, if you could share with the viewers your experience about the show and this creation by the man himself, Mr. William.
Oh yeah, it was funny when William first conceived of 52 Masters. I think I was one of the first people that you talked to, and he mentioned it to me, and it was before he was 52, so that goes back to like 4 years or 5 years ago. And I said, no better person to do this because of his William's footprint in the martial arts is just he knows everybody. So I said, yeah, count me in. Let me know when. And even though we're both in Southern California, getting together is difficult. And then when the pandemic hit, it was like, we'll get it together at some point. But we did get it on the schedule, and it was an amazing time. I think it's a great episode. But even though we've known each other all these years, we've only gotten to train together, for his charity events that we've done together. So it was great to work with William, and he's a professional in terms of putting together these type of documentaries. I don't know anything about film except that I can stand in front of a camera But it's always great to be with someone who's a martial artist, but also a filmmaker, because you hear and you get the background of how they're going to block the shot, and the lighting, and the sound, and all the things that you have to think about when you're filming and editing and putting together something like 52 Masters. So it was a great experience, and I loved it.
Awesome. You have any stories for us, William, with Daryl in that episode?
You know what? It was kind of like during 2020, and we both took a moment where it was kind of like we came out of the hole, and it was like, dude, you okay? Yeah, bro, you okay? You healthy? Yeah. You wanna like do an episode? And it's like, yeah, let's do that. But he drove up from Marietta, beautiful town of Marietta, and it was just, he had his cool black gi that he's been wearing for years. I had my white gi that was kind of a cool, yin yang thing.
Yeah.
And I said, let's do some kata, man. Before we do anything, let's do some kata. And he's teaching me one of the katas from his system, and I'm just digging it, man, because it just comes back down to fundamentals, things that you learn in your very first days of martial arts, man, and just digging it. And there's that purity that, going back to the fundamentals of martial arts, whether you practice kata or not, Daryl and I both have. And it's so cool to be able to go, I've never learned this before, but this is very cool. Right. And I enjoyed that. And then we got into some of the Kali, and then we got into, the self-defense aspects that you can extrapolate from the kata, and it was just fun. Then we got to spar, it's just free sparring, and we're not trying to grapple. We're not trying to, hit each other really. We're just practicing timing. It's kind of old school sparring, but there's always an element of control. And plus there's no ego. We're not trying to show who's better. It's just, hey, let's do a jam session and let's just, work some stuff. That was a lot of fun. And, we didn't get hurt. It was no, like, it wasn't like, I'm like, okay, guys, you know what?
We made a good episode.
Like, hey, man, Grandmaster Daryl Vidal just got me a good one, and I'm gonna.
You guys said you had history. You don't know. Daryl might wanted to give you one, to get you back, or maybe you wanted. I mean, were you guys rivals? In the younger days, or what happened?
No, actually, I'm a couple years older than William, so we were always there together, but in kind of a different division.
Okay.
I think we might have competed together a couple times, but that would have meant that I was cheating on my age.
Well, you know what? We did compete against each other, I think, in the same division a few times with kata. And I remember, when I would see Daryl, there's always this thing that competitors do. They go, hey, man, what's up? How you doing? What are you doing? And you're always hoping that he says, he's sparring, or he's in a different division, but sometimes we'd end up in the same division. And then, so I'm thinking, okay, so how am I going to get second place here? You know what I mean? And, I always respected him and admired him for his ability, and still do. And we lost touch for a lot of years, but it's because of social media that we were able to reconnect. Now, for better or worse, right? Social media is what it is. It can be the worst thing that happened to the world, and it can be the best thing that happened to the world. You just kind of have to, you got to be careful with what you do with it, because it could consume you in a bad way. And, one of the beautiful things about my relationship with Daryl and his wife, April, is that, look, we may have different beliefs for whatever, but you know what? Bottom line is that these people have had my back and they've been there for me, and this is how we define true friendship. And we're not going to let a bunch of nonsense on Facebook affect that. You know what I mean? And that bond is strong. And we had a great conversation. We got to talk about Karate Kid during that episode. I learned some things about Daryl being on the set at that time that I did not know before. and we got to talk about real martial arts. You know,
Right.
Yeah, and if I can jump in too, I mean, I really like what William said about kata, because we both teach, traditional systems. We know that MMA is out there and all these other new types of martial arts, but being traditionalists, we really value kata, and kata has gotten some bad raps, but I think karate Cobra Kai has elevated it back up.
Right.
But when we did do our kata together, because when I was messaging William, I said, "What are we going to film?" I was kind of nervous. I didn't know, I didn't know what I was going to say. I don't have a lot of great stories. And he says, "Let's just do a kata. Let's do some sticks and let's do some self-defense." And I said, "Perfect. It's perfect," because that is the essence of the way we train and the way he trains, and showing him some of the kata from my system and watching him work, because he's such a the consummate martial artist, so it just comes natural. Something that I might take years for me to teach to somebody else, he can pick it up right while we're working there. It's amazing.
Right. Gentlemen, real fast, if you guys wouldn't mind, we have Master Harry Kumar. He's a good friend of mine from New Jersey.
Hey, Harry.
Darryl, if you could just give him a quick hello, and then Master William.
Yeah, hey, welcome. Honored to be here, and honored to be here with William and Master Torres.
Master Kumar, very nice. Thank you very much for jumping in and watching our show. We appreciate the support. Much respect, sir.
Oh, thank you, gentlemen. Hey, real fast, it looks like we have another guest.
Another guest.
William, I don't know if you're a popular guy. What's going on? I'm going to have to get a bigger room or whatever's going on here.
All I got to tell you is that the next guest better be Filipino, because we've got Daryl and we had Alvin. So let's make it let's go 3 for 3.
He's Filipino? Okay. All right. Well, let's see. We'll bring him in. Boom. Joshua.
Hey. I'm not Filipino, but I really like lumpia and pancit. Is that count?
Okay, well, there you go.
You in, brother. You in.
That makes you Filipino.
Hey, thanks for having me on. I when Sensei Ford told me about today, I was absolutely jazzed to come on, and because I had the greatest time being a part of the 52 Masters. I think it's a really cool concept.
Well,
Awesome.
I have to tell you guys, we're real talk here. We're going to be honest. I got the time wrong. I thought we were going on at 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. I told all it's going to be, even in the video, I'm like 12 o'clock. And then Master Torres posts a video and it's like 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I'm like, wait, what? And so I called him and I said, it's 12 o'clock. No, it's 5 o'clock your time. And I'm like, uh-oh. So,
you a Greenwich Mean Time or something there, William?
I don't know.
He's high profile. William's high profile. He's a busy guy. That's what it is.
Although to his credit, he called me this morning. He told me what time it was on, and I came as soon as I could. I had students until 5:30.
And I think I woke up since Joshua. But look, in my defense, the family's been out of town for like a week, and it's been me and the dog at home, and just eating pizza and watching superhero movies, and it just did something to my sense of time. And anyways, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
That'll work.
Don't worry, William. I'm going to edit that out on the back end. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
So for all the viewers, again, we have our new guest, Joshua. Now, Joshua was also one of the 52 Masters. So Joshua, give us, tell our viewers about your experience working with William and, your impression of this 52 Master show. And then Grandmaster Dow, if you have a few more minutes, if you can hang out, because I have one more question for you.
Sure.
All right.
Sure.
Go ahead, Joshua.
So in case it's not obvious, if people didn't see the episode, I'm totally blind, didn't practice martial arts consistent until after that. And what was really cool is I met Sensei Ford through a mutual friend. We'll just call him Mario, because he likes to keep a really low profile. He's very much a background sort of guy. But
yes,
I first met Sensei Ford through him. It was a Kata Nehanshi seminar, actually, and it was really neat because the way I had learned Nehanshi, the first with the series, was a bit different than the way that Sensei Ford teaches it. And it just had a really, I've seen the gamut. I've been in martial arts maybe not quite 16 years, and I've seen the range of personalities and people who are really trying to sell themselves. Some people are selling themselves and they have something that's genuine, some people not. And one of the things I really appreciated about Sensei Ford is his willingness to always learn. And it's just a thing that I really appreciate people who are well experienced, been doing martial arts for a long period of time, having that willingness to be the beginner and learn something they don't know. Now, Sensei Ford knows more. He's probably forgotten more about martial arts than I've learned in my short period of time. And yet he was willing to learn from me. You know, I'm third degree black belt. I've only been doing this for a short period of time, but he still wanted to learn. Well, how do I learn from from the perspective of somebody who can't see? What are the things that are actually going to be relevant? And there was a willingness to learn. I think that's the cool part is no matter what art we have a particular specialization in. You know, my background's Kempo. I've done some other, I guess karate adjacent styles and a lot of Brazilian jiu-jitsu in the last handful of years, but I can never know everything. You know, I can never possibly learn everything there is. And even if I learn, say, Brazilian jiu-jitsu really well, the way, say, the Carlson Gracie line is the way that have largely learned most of mine. You know, somebody who trains with Pedro Sauer or hit down that line, or, you know, you have multiple variants of different karate styles that are very closely aligned. We can always learn something from each other. And ultimately, if I learn, you learn, then we all become better, because at the end of the day, it's more about growing. Yes, there's the combat aspect, but that's only just a facet of what we're doing here.
Right. No, great point. Thank you for sharing that, Josh.
Yeah, absolutely.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Grandmaster Dow, before you go, what is the biggest thing that you could take away about your experience with 52 Masters and being on the show?
Well, I think I kind of said what it was. It was the traditional part of it, working with kata and with William, and kind of showing him, my kata and watching him work, and then also doing the self-defense techniques. But I want to agree with what Sensei Loya said, and it's really is what makes 52 Masters what it is the aspect of William's insight to he calls it the beginner's mind. He actually published a book called The Beginner's Mind Project, which I was lucky to be part of as well. And we raised some more money for that charity effort too. So I was really happy to be part of it. But it is that beginner's mind philosophy that he brings forward that, I think every martial artist just looks at that and has to be inspired by it. So that's really the biggest part.
Well, thank you for sharing that, Grandmaster. I appreciate that. And thank you for calling in tonight and logging in. I really appreciate it. So
great to see you guys. Master Torres.
Thank you.
Sensei Loya.
Yes, sir.
Pleasure.
William.
We'll see you soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. God bless. Have a great night. So, Joshua, again,
yes, sir.
You did mention on your experience and what you take from it. Has your experience helped your program at all, or helped you in your martial arts career?
It has. It was kind of interesting timing when we filmed it. It was just a handful of months, odd turn of events. My wife and I inherited the remaining student base from our Kempo master that we studied with for many years in December of 2019. And so obviously the timing of everything, the amount of students we've been able to work with has been limited over the course of the last year, obviously. Mm-hmm. But, not just doing 52 Masters, but that reset of the willing to just take it fresh, the beginner's mind attitude, and having somebody willing to learn from me who doesn't actually have to learn from me, but chose to.
Right.
It did two things. One, it helped reinforce my ethic of always not dismissing somebody out of hand. There are those particular people in our chosen field of study and practice that rub us the wrong way. But even those people still might have something to teach us. Now, fortunately, I happen to actually like Sensei Ford in addition to liking to learn from him. But the fact that he also took the time to learn from me, it allowed me to have more confidence in what I taught. Because there are certain areas that I'm not particularly good at execution. I'm really great at teaching, but there's a couple you just honestly, as you might suspect, accuracy and kicks and certain things, I have to really be on my game, being totally blind in order to make any of those work. Right. But I can still teach the mechanics of how those work for my students, and principles, and if I'm on my game, I can make that work. But having the confidence to teach what you're teaching is huge, because if you're not confident in what you're teaching, your students aren't going to listen to it the same way. That doesn't mean you have to be boisterous and bullying or anything like that, but that calm confidence of not having to prove anything, that makes a real big difference. And then it allows the student, instead of worrying about, does he really know what he's talking about? Does Sensei really know what's going on here?
Right. They
can focus on just learning it. And then after the fact, they can unpack it. Well, is it working? Am I doing it right? But if you lack that confidence, that's going to be an inhibitor in how effective of a teacher you can be. And the fact that somebody of Sensei Ford's caliber actually wanted to listen and learn and attempt the drills I was teaching him, that really made a huge difference in terms of bumping up my confidence in my teaching.
Wow. Now, and how far are you guys away from each other?
I'm in San Diego, so La Mesa specifically. So, I mean, we can drive there in a couple of hours or so, because as far as I know, you're still in Torrance, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we could go up there for a day trip for sure.
Awesome. William, anything you want to add about the episode with Joshua?
Well, I wanted to do the episode blind also, so I was able to take a white belt and put it around my eyes. So, the symbolism of the white belt is repurposed again, but it actually physically made me a beginner again, because I didn't have the use of my eyes. So it was a total kinesthetic and auditory experience, because I could not see. So I had to listen and I had to feel. And those, even though I was only without my vision for an hour or so during the session, everything became more heightened. What I also noticed is that when I took the blindfold off, we had moved all the way across the room.
But that was just like, I remember that. You were like, how did we get over here?
Yeah, I was like, oh, no, we're still close by, but we had like migrated over here,
The opposite end of the dojo, I think, really.
Well, yeah. But the it was amazing, Here's the real big takeaway, though. I'm conducting this interview with Sensei Joshua, and what I learned was he wasn't born without sight. He did have vision. His eyes were problematic when he was a child, but he still had vision. And he was practicing, I think he had an unfortunate accident. It was a freak accident with a nunchaku.
Yeah, I had no training, by the way, at the time. I just messed around with them, but absolutely.
Wow.
When he was 13 years old, and the nunchaku hit his eye.
Wow.
And the doctors said, we could do surgery on it, but you're still going to have to be super, super careful. And martial arts would definitely be out.
Wow.
But they said, if we don't, and he goes completely blind, I think that's how it went. I think he had the choice. Then can I practice martial arts? And he goes, yeah, go for it then. Because, basically, what do you got to lose?
Right.
And that's exactly it. I didn't have to worry about losing anything, that I could do all the stuff that I do now. So
here's the thing. He chose to be completely blind so he could pursue martial arts.
Wow.
Think about that.
That's
That's amazing.
Yeah.
To make that choice,
Wow.
because most people would be like, no, I want to be able to at least see a little bit and be fearful, right? That's what amazes me about this man. It's like, that's so awesome. So awesome. And I get chicken skin, like they call it chicken skin in Hawaii.
Wow.
Just repeating the story it's just yeah. And this is what I love about 52 Masters, is that these types of stories, they just keep repeating, and maybe not exactly in Sensei Joshua's same, exact incident that happened, but similar types of things, that you know,
Right.
where you have to triumph over it. You have to overcome something, whatever that may be.
William, what episode number was this?
I'm thinking it's around 18 or 19. I'm not sure. It's
season 2, I think, technically, right? As far as the breakup on Amazon.
It's not yet on Amazon, but it's on YouTube. You can find it. It's like right after our sensei Marcus McCammon's video on Shorin Ryu. It's somewhere like right after Ron Thomas's episode. So it's in that area too. But yeah, you just Google it, you find it.
Gotcha. Well, I definitely wanted all the viewers to, obviously learn about that inspirational story, watch the episode, like you said. So I think that's a great story as well. So Joshua, I want to thank you.
Thank you very much
on the Martial Arts Experience for coming out for this special edition of the 52 Master Special Edition. So thank you so much, because obviously we're honored to have you, sir, and obviously have you speak about William. So God bless in all your upcoming endeavors as well, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Sensei. Right. Have a great night, sir. So William, now as we're coming to the, kind of to the close here, because I feel like you and I, as you said, we could probably talk for a 4-hour special and break it up into a mini series. What is, the game plan is for you you said you're about halfway through, correct, sir?
That is correct.
So after COVID, are you going to try, or have you already started working on, some following, did you have some archive footage that you haven't been able to edit yet?
I've got 4 episodes in the can. That one is Master Graciela Casillas, who is a legend. Master Faribosa Jacques, who is one of my living heroes and is generous to a fault in regards to what he gives to martial arts school owners. Those 2 episodes we shot at his school, same place I shot the episode with Sensei Benny.
Wow.
I shot part of it. I shot the training sequence with a gentleman named Tuhan Apollo Ladra, and we discussed, we practiced the Filipino martial art of Pakiti Tertia, which involves a lot of knife and things like that.
Apollo is based out of Maryland, right?
I believe so.
Yep.
I believe so. He used to train Taekwondo under Grandmaster Ernie Reyes, back in the day.
Yeah.
We didn't get a chance to do the interview portion, so I may end up doing that as like we'll follow up via this format, and just cut it into the existing training footage. And then I have one with Sensei Fumio Demura, which I did.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that one I was kind of hanging on to, and it's still in the can. We're just, I don't know, just kind of waiting. Now, I may have to put a disclaimer on that one too, because I think I was about 25 pounds heavier on that one. And so I'm going to say, guys, I lost a little weight since then. So wondering, just a little, a little chubbier then, but it's all good. We still
you were eating good. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
It's healthy, it's all good, man. But here's the thing. Look, I don't know if you've said this to your fans and to your followers, but we're going to be doing our first episode that is actually filmed outside of California come June, where I'm going to New Jersey, and my guest is going to be Master Jose Torres. That's going to be cool. We're going to go to your school, and I'm going to get a chance to work on some kicking and hang out with your students. And I'm sure all of them are going to just look amazing and, are going to embarrass me because of how talented they are. But I'm going to get to be with the man himself, the brainchild actually behind the martial arts experience. So that's exciting because, you know what? When I met you, and we haven't met in person yet, I felt like, okay, this is my brother. This is my East Coast, New Jersey, Puerto Rican brother who I think we have a lot of the same values, and you're doing the same thing I'm doing, by interviewing people. It's just using a different format. I'm in person, I'm doing the training, but you've done an amazing job with this show, and I know you're doing other great things. So I'm super excited about that. So I hope I'm not spoiling anything by telling, but that's what I'm planning on doing. So I'm going to see my New Jersey peeps. And, I'm really going because you said you were going to take me out to dinner. So that's
right. That's the only reason why you go. Well, fans, he did drop it out of the box. We are excited that, on behalf of Martial Arts Experience, but just myself too. Honestly, William, I'm honored. Words cannot describe how, this is such a blessing for me and, my family. And, I've been involved in martial arts for a very, very long time. So, thank you so much for even, giving me the opportunity and selecting me. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, sir. I mean that.
Well, I've told you this before. Yeah, we've had some, world-renowned, globally known martial arts masters, true masters in that sense. And a lot of people whom I've asked, my good friend Tom Callahan, who's an amazing Kyokushin karate guy. When I first asked him, he was like, "Whoa, the caliber of people you've had on there, it was almost like, I don't deserve to be on the show." And I'm like, "No, of course you do, And part of the reason why is because of what you just said, it was suggested to me that early on in the show that just go after the big people. Don't worry about the little people. And that's just not me. I am interested in interviewing the person who maybe is not famous, maybe he's not on the cover of a magazine, maybe he's not in movies, maybe he's not a well-known figure. I'm interested in good people who are passionate, who are true martial artists, who are humble, who are doing things for their community. And I don't care if they're not known or not. It's not for the views. It's not for that. It's because I truly want to learn from somebody who's real, and I want to be with this person for whatever the time is that we're doing the show. And you are one of those people. I'm a gold digger, man, and here's what I mean by that. People tend to look at the diamonds on the cavern wall and go, "Wow, look at that. I want that. I want that." I dig into the dirt and I find these nuggets and I wash it off and I polish it and I go, look at what I found. This is gold. See, that's what I do. So this is exactly what I want to do. And I want to do the show how I want to do it with whom I want to do it. There are some people who are pretty well known, and I'm not interested in having them on the show because their ego precedes them.
Right.
It's like, "Hi, very nice to meet me."
I understand.
I know. I'm not going to mention any names, but we've all dealt with those super supreme grandmaster with cokes and with Coke and a chip, Coke and chips and a Coke or whatever, Yeah. And I'm not dealing with that. I don't want to deal with that type of ego, That's not what the show is about. That's what the show is about. So it's going to be really exciting and a really good time. I can't wait to meet your family, your sons, your lovely wife. I know it's going to be great. And I promise I'm no trouble. I'm not going to be like, "Oh my God, why did we invite this dude?"
Well, again, I really appreciate it. And, we're definitely excited to have you in New Jersey. Again, for, all the viewers, I think that we'll try to, maybe we'll do a live or something that day and, give everybody insight into what's going on, or, when you come, when you first get off the plane or something like that. So, but again, William, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. It's phenomenal news. You did let the cat out of the bag, and we're excited for June. It's going to happen in June. So
I couldn't help it, Master Torres. I had to say something. I'm sorry.
No, thank you so much. But again, for all the viewers, 52 Masters. It's a great concept. It's a great show. Again, some amazing martial arts legends, instructors that are on there. He name dropped Amen Santo, world famous Brazilian capoeira master, Mark DeCasco's instructor, Benny Urquidez, Famui Demora. He said him, and he's holding on to him. He's not even, launched that episode yet.
Mm-hmm.
Rob Thomas, from the Karate Kid, Dara Vidal, just master after master after
Yeah,
master. So,
I mean, Rob Moses, Michelle Manu, Gino Barlongo, Cindy Omatsu, Marcus McCamm. I mean, there's just, Ed Smith. There's just, a ton of people, and warriors like Cole Roger. There's just, and I can't name them all. The names escape me, some of them right now, but they know who they are. They're all in the show.
And we had Alvin and Joshua, obviously on the show tonight. They had their own episodes as well. So, William, any final words? I do want to drop your 52 Masters intro one more time. Get everybody excited about what's going on. So any final words or anything that you want to share with the viewers today?
You know what? Have fun. Don't give up. Keep showing up to class or whatever it is. Just always be a student. Do your best. And I think that martial arts, if you build a strong mind, strong body, strong spirit, and you have strong technique, there's nothing you can't accomplish. So, do it, man. Do it and enjoy the journey. And
awesome.
Big thanks to Jim Towns, the director of the entire series, amazing talent, and the various camera ops that we've had on the show as well. And, to all my guests in the past, thank you so much for helping me and to accompany me on this journey. It's been really, truly amazing, but the best is yet to come.
William, real fast, before I play the last video, could we give a quick shout out to my good buddy, Matthew Barnett? I believe he's based out of the United Kingdom. If we could just do a quick hello to him, Matthew.
I think I think we've chatted. Mr.
He has a
Barnett.
Facebook page. Yes, he has a Facebook page.
Yes, I've had conversations with him before, so it's very nice to see you again, sir. I've got a tremendous amount of support from the UK. The UK contingency has been really awesome. Especially kind to me. So I'm hoping to make it out to the UK and meet you guys in person. Maybe we can do a dojo tour or something like that.
Matthew's a very good guy. He's supported our show. He always shares our stuff. So we really, really appreciate it as well. Yeah, absolutely. So if you need anybody to carry your bag, sir, I'll be more than glad to assist you on any. Obviously now, if I'm going to be one of the 52, I'll open up my schedule, sir. I definitely will.
I'm going to get an email with your demands now. So it's like, oh my God, this guy, I'm going to have a talk with your wife. I'm going, ma'am, Mrs. Torres, your husband, he sent me this list.
Laundry list. Oh, man. Well, ladies and gentlemen, again, we hope you enjoyed the show tonight. We're so glad for all the special guests that we had that called in. We had Joshua, we had Alvin, we had Daryl. I mean, surprises. I hope you guys liked the show. I hope you liked the new format, the new system that we're using, and especially for this special edition on 52 Masters. So again, we're gonna go to the intro so you guys can get excited. Hopefully, and you guys will.
I am 51 years old. I've been a practitioner of Okinawan Shorin-ryu karate since I was 7. There was some who would call me a master. I assure you, I am not. I believe that the true expert is someone who still has a student's heart and a beginner's mind. This year, to celebrate turning 52, I'm setting out to learn from 52 other disciplines, each from its own master. Some things I've tried before, others I'm a first-day beginner, like anyone else. 52 weeks, 52 new skills. I'm William Christopher Ford, and this is 52 Masters.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Martial Arts Experience, thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
William, thank you so much. God bless. We wish you the best of luck. To all of our viewers, make sure you check it out. You can catch it on YouTube. You'll be able to see, you said the first season is on Amazon, right, sir?
Yeah, 10 episodes on Amazon. I believe we're also on something called Tubi. So
Tubi, yes.
Yeah, Tubi's kind of big. So you can check it out there, and you can always find it on YouTube.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us. Special edition to all the viewers. William, God bless. Thank you, sir. And to all of our viewers, you guys have a blessed night this Friday. Stay blessed and make sure you train hard. Take care, guys.
Thanks, guys.